Hey guys, it's Kelly here. Teachers are one of the most important part of BlingABC. Let's hear from some of them.
Hello everyone, my name is Colina. I'm an American. I live in Italy.
Hi, my name is Julia and I am from Australia. I have twins, 2 boys, 14 years of age. I have been on board with BlingABC for almost 2 years. I was working for another ESL company, teaching at public schools and 103 students in China.
Hi, my name is Leanne. I am from London and I have been teaching with Bling for about 15 months.
Hello, my name is Amul. I am 31 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I have been teaching for almost 5 years now, 3 of which have been online. I previously worked for some other ESL companies before I came to BlingABC. I used to live in China. I just got back last year. I lived there for about 3.5 years where I studied Chinese at the university there.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth and I am an English teacher for about 5 years now, and I live in Cape Town, in beautiful Cape Town. That is a coastal city in South Africa. And some fun things about me: I like reading historical novels, watching action movies. I'm a big fan of the Avengers, and listening to music, and spending some fun and quality time with my friends and my family.
Hi, I'm teacher Zoe. I have been working with BlingABC since December of 2017.
Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Mav, or the Bling King, or the Tiger King. No students have called me this yet, but I am working on it.
How did you hear about BlingABC?
I came across BlingABC by coincidence, and thank God I did. After reviewing the company structure, I was so excited. I knew that this was the company I was looking for.
This was actually my first time teaching online, so I was searching for suitable companies and I came across Bling via Facebook, I believe, and there wasn't really much information at the time, so I just went with it.
I was currently living in Thailand and working for a different ESL company, and my friend was working for BlingABC at the time. He recommended them to me, and I haven't looked back since.
I found out about BlingABC through an application that I had sent to eslJobLounge.com.
Google. 100% Google.
I found out about BlingABC from a teacher here in Vietnam. She couldn't believe I was still working for a real life school. She asked me, how do I mute them? And 1 year later, here I am with my cup of coffee. I can see my dog downstairs. I can water my plants, and I couldn't be happier. It was a very good decision.
What was your interview like?
My interview went great. I was prepared and I had experience, so I wasn't really nervous.
So the day before and the day of my interview was nerve-wracking because I hate interviews. But my interviewer, Samuel, was super chilled and he made the whole process really cool, comfortable and easy. My interview was on Zoom. There was no room box or classing at the time, so it was really interesting.
I thought it was quite good. I initially applied online before I was contacted by recruitment at BlingABC. We did the online interview. She knew all her stuff, which was quite good. Any questions I had, I asked her and she knew them, so I wasn't left in some bizarre grey area of what to expect, basically. I knew what I was in for, which was very good. So I was quite happy with the interview process.
I was lucky enough to be interviewed by a very great person. He was very kind and patient and easy to talk to. So it didn't feel like an interview, but more like a conversation with someone. So the interview was great.
It was over Skype, really relaxed, no problem.
My interviewer's name was Javier, We got along really well. He made me feel super comfortable. I think he had some technical difficulties, which made me feel a little less nervous.
What was your orientation like?
The entire process from interviewing, mock, training was smooth, efficient, and effective. I was provided with everything I needed to know.
My orientation was fun and informative. There's a lot of information during the 2 hour orientation, and I suggest that you have a notepad and a pen. These notes will be valuable from the start of your career at Bling all the way through, I believe.
I thought it was good. Although I've been doing this for 3 years online already, you kind of get set in stone in your ways. So when I was doing the orientation, they gave me a lot more new tips, and it was kind of like a big refresher for me. So that was very good. Again, they know their stuff. So if you're new to this particularly, try to listen to what they have to say, and it's going to help you out a lot.
The best part about the interview with Michael is that it was an interview, but it also served as an orientation. He explained the history of BlingABC. He explained how the lessons work and the platform that the number of students that are in the lessons, and of course the scheduling, and with regards to the teachers, your availability, which is always great because you are allowed some flexibility.
My orientation was with Ron. She was super, super nice, really helpful. I was working in a basement at that time. So I just remember that I had no background. It was really dark and dingy. Yeah, my setting was somewhat questionable.
The orientation was actually really fun. I met a representative from the Beijing headquarters named Kyle with a thick New Zealand accent. We played some games. She gave me some trophies. Thanks, Kyle. She made sure we were fully prepared with the stages of the onboarding process, and I understood all the expectations of the company. She taught me how to count to 10 in Chinese, which I've forgotten. Sorry, Kyle. She taught me how I could use TPR to sell a vacuum from a catalog, which was pretty difficult. And we had a lot of fun, and I was comfortable with the next stage and ready to move forward. It was awesome.
What was your mock class like?
I was super nervous during both my mocks on classing and Roombox. Bling staff acted as students, and most of them were actually doing work during my mock, which definitely prepared me for coping with distracted students and background noise.
I thought it was good. They gave me 3 topics to pick and gave me about a week to prepare all my homework, so props and materials and stuff like that. A week's plenty of time, so I was very happy with that. I did well, thankfully, and then moved on to the next process.
As you know, when you are conducting your first demo lesson, you feel a little bit unsure as to how to do it, especially because the person on the other side is pretending to be a 7 or 9-year-old. So sometimes that does make it a little bit hard. So it was fun. It was interactive. It was a little bit daunting to get started because it's something new and different, and it was definitely something memorable.
Back then, you had to record a video of yourself teaching and then submit it. So basically, you present to an imaginary audience. It's terrifying. I dressed as Elsa.
Now, my mock class was a little bit different. It's never easy trying to teach adults who are acting like 5-year-olds. I don't know who it's more awkward for, me or them, but we got through it, trying not to laugh. One adult was acting not so good, one was acting really good, and we just went with it. They never broke character, and it was actually a good laugh, so much fun.
How long did it take for you to get classes?
When I started, I had maybe 5 classes per month. I had the same availability that I have now. I have 6 days a week open for Bling. Now I am full, but it took a long time to get there. Be patient
and you will get your classes.
I started my lessons a week after training. I was very, very lucky. And now I am fully booked with BlingABC only.
I was scheduled classes roughly about a week after joining Bling. This is actually quite lucky, but the company was a lot smaller at the time.
In my personal experience, it started to happen over about a month period. So I started to recognize the same faces and the same kids becoming my regulars in that month period. And then after that, it was sitting at about 60 to 70% filled, and then by about 2 months, it was sitting on about 80% to 90% filled. So as long as you keep plodding along and doing well, making them happy, you should be fine.
As I got my email to confirm that I'm part of the team, yay, around January, at the end of January, but beginning of February in 2018, that's when I officially started teaching.
I was scheduled classes about 2 weeks after signing my contract. So I signed in December and I started 2 weeks after signing. I think there were more classes than there were teachers at that point in time. And now I think we have over 2,000 teachers, so situations have changed a little bit.
I started with Bling 1 year ago, about 1 month before the summer semester. So they gave me a few substitute classes and one-off classes. I know scheduling is different for everyone, but by the time summer started, they bombarded me with a whole bunch of classes. I remember I got a 1-on-3 class with 2 Elsas and an Amy, which I still happily teach today.
What was your first class like?
My first class was with my regular students, which I am teaching now. I was so excited. I even forgot to give authorization of a pen for the entire lesson. So, practice makes perfect. Now I teach 30 students in class, shifting 5-6 groups.
I prepared a lot before my first class and made a lot of notes. My students were regulars called King and Monkey. They were fun, enthusiastic, and made class so enjoyable. I will never forget them.
As with anyone, that first class is always going to be a bit iffy. You got the nerves coming in, it's a bit stressful. I did all my homework, I had my props ready, but still there's always those 1 to 2 second moments where I'm kind of flustered and stumbling over myself and trying to figure out the kids themselves. But all in all, it went well. As long as you do your homework, you should be fine.
So, how was my first lesson? I don't remember much because I was so nervous and I just wanted to do the lesson to the best of my abilities and of course I wanted to make sure that the kids were having fun and they enjoyed having me as their teacher. But as far as I can remember, I did not mess up that much, I think. Because, of course, you always have to remember to make use of the tools, engage the children, make sure that they are having fun. And for me personally, I always love just hearing what they have to say. And that's what I try to incorporate as well by making sure that I ask them questions and give them the opportunity to just share their thoughts. And yes, they also like asking the questions of, where are you from, teacher? So first lesson was definitely fun.
I'm not the best when it comes to performing under pressure, so mock classes for me and the first lesson's definitely the hardest. And I would say it wasn't perfect, but once you get over it, it gets a lot better. You got to start somewhere.
I remember my first class with a young, nervous little boy named Jerry. We did a phonics class. I had to sing a song about a shrimp and a duck, and I sang it really well.
How were your first 6 months?
My classes grew steadily. Once I demonstrated I was capable of using the platform for regular and large classes, my schedule gradually got full, and by my 3rd month I was lucky to have a full schedule. It does take some time to fill your schedule as you want it, but it's definitely worth it. Bling is an incredible company.
in my experience so far, it's been very good. I'm very happy. My kids are great. The software is progressing. Every time they do an update, they're fixing more and more and more, which is good. But the main thing for me is the management. So if I've had an issue or something like that, they have been very supportive. Big shout out to Olivia, by the way, who always puts up with my mess constantly, poor thing. They're very good. So again, when you're kind of new to this and you have problems, don't stress. Don't hesitate to contact them because they know their stuff and they will help you.
That was great, especially with the assurance that I have lessons to teach. I think that is one of my most favorite things about Bling. It was nice to be comfortable and be at ease for you to just enjoy teaching and having fun with the students, and of course creating those relationships with them.
The first 6 months with Bling were amazing. It's still amazing. The communication between all the departments is very quick, super helpful, and friendly. I have a support named Olivia. She's my wingman. She notices when I get a haircut. She asks me if I feel comfortable. She's getting some dogs this year, and I love her. She resolves the issue super quick, and she's great.
Why have you continued to work for BlingABC?
I was lucky enough to start when Bling was just a startup company back in September of 2017. There are so many places that online teachers can work, but BlingABC is absolutely leaps and bounds above the rest. I choose to stay here because we have the potential to be great. We are growing. I stayed because they are respectful and give opportunities to grow your career. I'd say professionalism and honesty are two very good words to sum up my long-time career with Bling.
The reason why I decided to continue and be devoted to BlingABC would be once you get used to excellence, which is BlingABC, you cannot settle for second or third best. No.
I have continued to work for Bling simply because it is a great company. The class content is fun, varied, well written. The class times and lengths are great. The students are awesome and the staff at Bling are very supportive and they take notice of hard work and dedication.
The kids I've had so far have been fantastic. They're a lot of fun. They keep you going when you have that good group. As you know, you have that dynamic and it makes work not work, if you know what I mean. Another big thing again, which as I mentioned before, is the management. It's really good to work with these guys. They're not sticklers. They understand that things do go wrong sometimes, and they're there to back you up. They help you out. They don't just leave you in the cold, which is the main part I like, and I feel very supported at BlingABC.
I'm going on 3 years and I am staying because they offer ease, they offer peace of mind, they offer reassurance with the fact that if you bring and you do your part, then there's nothing for them to actually complain about. I have my set schedule. I can go through my lesson plans way in advance and prepare for them. And of course, I build relationships with the children. I get to know them and be excited to hear about all the fun things that they've gotten up to.
BlingABC has been one of the most professional and supportive companies I have ever worked for. The fact that it's based online to me is incredible. They are so professional. Their admin team work their butts off. They've always been supportive of me. They're really down to earth. If you do right by them, they'll do right by you. And that's a promise.
It was pretty obvious early on that this wasn't a temporary gig for me. The students, the staff, the support, the Facebook community, the book club that I'm in, it's a game changer and there's so much room for growth as well. I think retirement might be pretty far away for me, but I'm going to bling bling to the end.
Do you recommend BlingABC to other teachers? Why or why not?
I wouldn't hesitate to recommend BlingABC to future teachers out there whom are serious, loyal, and professional. As the stability, staff, lesson material, TA support is excellent. The student-teacher connections, the bond we have created witnessing my students' developments each term really thrills me. I would never consider working for another company.
I definitely recommend Bling to future teachers. If you are thinking about applying, just do it.
I already have. I've already recommended a couple of my mates currently working for them now to BlingABC. I've worked for a couple of other companies too, not to mention names, and I haven't had the same experience that I've had at BlingABC. Again, I reiterate that I feel very supported here. The materials are good and the kids are great. I really enjoy teaching for BlingABC.
I always recommend, I always try to assist in getting them in. I can only do so much, of course, but I will always recommend Bling, especially because the situation right now, even because of the world pandemic, most people wish they could be doing what I am doing.
I referred my partner and my best friend, and that's it. That's it. It's a nice little family, and it's my best kept secret.
Final thoughts you want to share?
Think back to that time when you watched your favorite cartoon or character or show, and remember, it was a little silly. It was a little over the top. The characters of cartoons were dynamic. Now, some advice that I like to give when teaching children online is take your education as a teacher. Use it. Teach them grammar, speaking, culture. But a good thing to add is children's television program character.
I aim to educate young minds and inspire their imagination.
The biggest concern for new teachers is getting classes. Getting classes does take time. It could be within your first week, month. It just depends on scheduling and when you join, but it is definitely worthwhile.
If you are new to this, or even if you're not, you've been doing this for a while, try to take some notes down while you're doing your orientation and training, because they're going to help you out a lot. They'll give you a lot of information about working within this box, which is the tricky part, particularly if you're going from in-class teaching to online. It's different, way different, because you're kind of stuck in this box, this internet zone that we're in. And you got to remember that we need to try keep as active as we can without being too outrageous, to try engage the kids as much as we can. Otherwise, online learning, it can be very stagnant if you're stuck in this position and you're teaching like this for about 40 minutes. They're going to get very bored with you very quick. So within reason, try to remember to just be as active as you can. Use your hands, use your TPR, use your props. Things like this are going to help you out a lot.
Bling is a family, and that it's always easy to just communicate and share if there is something that you are in desperate need of. Getting messages from the trainers or the assistants saying that Peter likes your classes, he'd like to come back to your classes and things like that. So I definitely like that. And of course the I love you, teacher, after each lesson when it's time to say goodbye. So those are one of the most amazing things about my job. The I love you, teacher.
Most of our teachers are pretty awesome. Most.
Now, my final thoughts about the company, and I'm not even kidding. If you have children, pets, a partner, or nosy neighbors, then buy a spray bottle, and squirt them while you're teaching. It'll save you a ton of stress. And overall, I have no regrets about joining this company.
That was great. Thank you, guys. And to all of you out there, stay tuned because we have more great questions coming up.